I will bury cement pylons that are just lurking underneath the surface.
Well, 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 I had a pretty busy December, but I'm back at the side of the house. And would you look at that? Not only are there walls, but there's a roof with shingles, there are windows, there are doors. This thing looks like a house. Over the last few weeks, after they put the finishing touches on the slab, another team of guys came in to stack up the first story of these blocks. Then came in all the sticks to go inside and to build up the second story. There was the roofing crew to put in all of these beautiful prefabricated trusses on all the right spots. After that, we got some weatherproofing and some shingles, and that pretty much made the house house-shaped and ready for the next wave of guys to get in there and install electrical, put in the gas lines, run Cat 6 cables into pretty much every room in the house, get this quite beautiful network of HVAC lines and boxes and air hoses placed into our series of attic spaces. Meanwhile, back at the old house, turns out some genius in the 1970s came up with this polybutylene material to use for water lines in residential places. And 20 years after that, they all started failing all over the place, and there was a class action lawsuit. And of course, the house that we're selling is plumbed straight through with polybutylene pipes. And it's not like they won't pass code, they'll pass the inspection, they're allowed to be in there. But apparently some homeowners insurance companies either won't cover it or will charge you double to have a house with polybutylene pipes in it. So we've already had a couple of buyers back out or ask if we'll pay to get these upgraded because of this. I wonder how much that's gonna cost to redo. Anyway, let's head on into the house and take a look at everything. I guess I should note that I am no expert in how houses are built or what's typical in construction. The two houses I've owned so far have been built in the 1970s and the 1990s. So this will all be from the perspective of a guy who went to school for mechanical engineering, but I don't know anything about what's common or new for construction. So I'm probably gonna call stuff the wrong thing throughout this video. That said, look at this door. I absolutely love these super tall doorways. It's not just the entrance. All the doorways in the whole house are 8 feet tall. It's not even something I ever would have thought to want. I didn't even know that was like a choice, but it definitely makes everything feel bigger when you're walking into a room. Big doorways. When you first come into the house, we've got a little foyer, a little place to take off your shoes and put your keys into a dish or whatever. Or I don't know, maybe we'll put a big plant over here or something. Then you can either go straight into the main living space. Evidently a living room is now called a gathering room. So straight ahead is that, and the kitchen and the dining room, just all as one big open space. But first, let's check out this simple feature that I'm just personally really excited to build into a thing. And that is through here and into the laundry room, and I don't know what you call this thing, but like a data closet. So this is where the fiber optic line is gonna come in. This is where the modem will be housed, and I'll have a network switch in here, and I'm gonna set up a server in here, maybe bolted to the wall, that has a whole bunch of storage, so this house will have basically its own cloud. I plan to build a computer that will act like a NOS, so that not only can everyone in the house back up their computers to this thing, sort of as if there's always a 10 terabyte hard drive connected to your computer as long as you're in the house, but we should also be able to access it from anywhere in the world. So stay tuned for that video later when I build that thing. I'm pretty excited to put that together after we move in here, but data closet. Then there's just the rest of the laundry room, washer dryer over here. It's neat to see how they have these little pressure gauges on all of the water pipes. It's like they're checking everything, obviously, for leaks. And there's gonna be like a whole built-in area here with the sink and counter and cabinets and storage for stuff on that side. And if we follow all these blue lines from the data closet are Cat 6 Ethernet cable. And I had them put those pretty much everywhere in the house. So Cat 6 is gonna go to Sarah's office. Cat 6 is gonna go to the kitchen in case we have a smart fridge. It's gonna go out to my new studio in the garage. Cat 6 goes to where the TV goes. There's a few different access points in the ceiling, so I had Cat 6 put into the ceiling of the bottom floor and the top floor for Tommy's loft, and then also Cat 6 behind wherever there's gonna be a TV. In our bedroom, in the gathering room, upstairs in the loft too. Even in the kitchen, because I'm gonna end up wanting one of those smart fridges that can tell you what to cook based on it knows what food's in the fridge. So data everywhere. I wanna do a whole bunch of smart home projects. Out of the laundry room and into the garage, looks like they've already done most of the electrical. We're having them put a car charger over on the wall because I'm pretty sure I'm driving my last combustion engine car with that dumb little Fiat, and T-Daddy's already got a Tesla anyway. So the car charger is getting mounted in this box over here, and that's gonna have like a really long cord that goes out into the driveway because this whole space is gonna be my next YouTube studio. I have no idea how I'm gonna set this place up, but that'll be a whole series of videos I'm sure I put together in the summer. I know the whole place is gonna be matte black and shelves just kind of everywhere lining all the walls, like really chaotic but functional. I'm also getting a power rack and a functional trainer, like weightlifting stuff, so I don't have to waste so much time driving to the gym every day. And this little frame out in the OSB up here is my tiny little studio loft. There's gonna be a pull-down set of stairs that comes from this little hole in the ceiling, and then up there is a floor, so it's just like my I don't know, storage space or little reading nook, whatever I build up there. Anyway, back into the house. We're gonna go over to Billy's room over here, next to the laundry room over here. He's got his own bathroom. Actually, all of the bedrooms in this house have their own bathroom, including the guest room over there, and that's a huge life upgrade from right now, where we're sharing a bathroom with me and Sarah and Bill at my mom's house. Because right now we're selling our old house, so we're all crammed into my parents' house. So this will be really nice. Out of Billy's room and into the guest room, we had chosen this turret-shaped feature on the front of the house, and I guess this is where Andy and Carrie will sit at the windowsill and gaze out at the neighbors as they mow their lawns. Oh, green screen Andy. I've gotten so much good mileage out of green screen Andy. Oh, and this interesting feature right here, there's this tube up there over the door that goes between these two rooms. This thing is just there to regulate the air pressure. Like in my mom's house, or in every other house I've lived in, if the conditions are just right, if you open the front door, it can sometimes cause one of the bedroom doors to slam shut. Like if there's a window open on the opposite side of the house, and there's just pressure that moves around in the house. Or like when the AC turns on, if you have an air register in the room but there's no return air in the same room, it's gonna pump air into the room, which will make positive pressure and cause the door either to slam shut if it's going that way or to swing open if it's going that way. Because there's, more air in this room than there is in that room, kind of like blowing up a balloon, it's gonna force the room open. So this tube lets air from this room move out of the room and towards the big air return thing in this hallway, which then gets sucked up into the air conditioning system, filtered, reconditioned, and put back out into the house. Pressure regulation tube. Maybe that's normal, maybe that's just code now, but I thought that was super interesting when I first saw it. And we're moving on to the central part of the house, where all the cooking and movies and game time and lounging will happen. So evidently our drywall has been dropped off. That's nice, but it sure makes it harder to move around in here and to see the room like a room, One of the upgrades we had done was this cord tube over where we're gonna mount the main TV. So the TV is gonna get mounted on the wall right here, and the power for the TV and then the data line for the TV are both gonna pop out right here. So they'll be hidden by the TV itself. You won't see any cords at all. And then this data tube is if you have like a PlayStation or whatever in your entertainment system. So you'll drop all the cords down in the tube, and then they pop back out down here on the other side, go into the back of this cabinet that's gonna sit right here, and you don't see any cords on the wall. It's beautiful. Another thing you can see right here is all of these little orange poofy marks. This is for the inspector to see that they have indeed pumped the walls full of this expanding foam for the super insulation package thing that I bought. So behind all of the block, there is expanding foam everywhere in the whole house. All those little orange blips. And at least I'm told anyway that the expanding foam goes from floor to ceiling and just makes this wall super insulated from the heat outside. And then if we look up into the ceiling, we have these suspended red rings where the surround sound is gonna get mounted between the beams, up and out of the way. Again, no cords anywhere. I like that they don't just nail those into the beams, which would make the floor vibrate and bother Tommy Titweiler upstairs while he's rewatching the first 4 seasons of Fargo to see how those different storylines sort of weave themselves together at the end. Also up in the ceiling, we have this beautiful network of AC ducts. It would appear that there's a big tube from the air handler that goes to pressurize this big AC box. And then out from there, a tube goes into every one of the rooms. So Sarah's office gets an air duct, our bedroom gets a duct, our bathroom gets a duct, our walk-in closet gets a duct, obviously the kitchen gets ducts in the dining room. The data closet, laundry room gets a duct. Billy's room, the guest room. And then way back over here in the attic space above the foyer, there's like another air hub where the return air gets sucked back in from a number of different places throughout the downstairs to get filtered and recooled and recirculated. In our current house and every other house I've lived in, the AC system's always been pretty simple, just like a duct that goes through the attic and then just goes down into the rooms. But this is this whole complicated mess of like air in, air out, regulating the pressure between rooms. It's pretty cool. Across from the gathering room, we have the kitchen. I'm not even sure if you can see it in there, but this is gonna be bones of the kitchen island. We're gonna have a big kitchen island right here. It's gonna have a big deep sink in it, bunch of power, bunch of cabinets, stuff like that. And then across this way is gonna be the range, which is gas, and then a double-decker stove and microwave combo thing. And I wasn't sure if the stove was gonna be gas or electric, but judging by the thick gauge of this wire, we're gonna have an electric stove. And then so many cabinets just everywhere. We had a really small kitchen at the last place, so I don't even know what to put in all these cabinets, plus like a walk-in pantry thing. In our last kitchen, pretty much every cabinet was a trap because pots and pans would be stacked up on top of other pots and pans really precariously, so most of the time when you'd open a door, something would shoot out. Over in the dining area, I'm actually gonna attempt to build like a big 6-foot round table and then seating that wraps around this corner here and looks out the window. And then back through here, through this doorway, we have the owner's suite. Very nice. It's a bedroom. Look, another data port. We had them do this tray ceiling thing. So fancy. Lots of LED lights in here too. And again, you can see where all of the insulation's coming poking out of the block wall. Through this doorway is the owner's bath. We have this whole his and hers sink situation. So for the first time, maybe in my whole life, I have my own like bathroom sink with my own bathroom cupboards and bathroom drawers. I guess I've always shared stuff with my brother a million years ago, and then roommates all the way up until now. Can't wait to put stuff in those. They built us this walk-in shower where the water comes straight down from the ceiling and from the side. And maybe most importantly, you can like turn on the hot and cold water without getting in it, so you don't have to get wet. You don't have to like turn it on and jump out of it while the water warms up. But no shower curtain, no glass door or anything, just a big enough area that you can walk in the shower and the water can't escape. And then back into the walk-in closet. I'm sure this whole space will just be for Sarah, and I'll get like the little linen closet to put my clothes in, or maybe I'll just keep dressing and undressing in the garage like I do now. Who knows? Maybe I'll get my own shelf. Another little feature is this, like the pooping room. The throne room is a separate door from the rest of the bathroom, so you can shower and use the sink and stuff separately from where you poop. And it has its own poop vent. Like the poop vent from the bathroom is the different vent from the poop vent from the shower. They thought of everything. Out of the bedroom and into the backyard, we've got this like multi-tiered sliding glass door thing. So you can open this big opening, like 8 feet wide, let all of the fresh air in, which isn't always that handy in Florida because it's usually too hot to do that. But like today, for instance, man, it is 66 degrees. This would just feel great. Out here, we have this covered area, and they're building a whole second kitchen out here. So we've got like the kitchen hood. I'm not sure if that's in the shot. There's more electrical. There's another gas line because there's going to be like a stovetop and a big barbecue thing, a refrigerator, another sink. Anyway, this is where I will cook my steaks and my bacons just as smoky as I see fit. Ultimately, there's gonna be a pool and hot tub combo out back, and this whole thing is gonna be pavers. Let's go upstairs and see Tommy's loft. The last stop on our tour is up into Tommy's loft. I love how right now, while everything's unfinished, you can see the space between the floors, between the ceiling of the bottom floor and the floor of the top floor, with all the industrial things going on with HVAC and power and water lines and all that. But upstairs, Tommy T. Daddy Hazelwood gets his own entertainment loft. So this big open space wraps around the corner here. There's this little hobbit door that looks down into the attic space above our bedroom. So this house is designed that there's no floor above our bedroom, so we won't be bothered by people walking around above us. And actually, come to think of it, there's no floor above any bedroom. Bill's bedroom, they have it designed so, yeah, the guest bedroom has nobody above it. There's no floor above the bedroom, so nobody's getting walked on in the middle of the night. That's a pretty clever design. But up here, one of the interesting things I noticed when I was just poking around is that none of these walls are actually connected to the ceiling joists, or trusses, or whatever you call them. So these are all like sort of free floating walls. You could knock them all down and it wouldn't change the structure of the house. And I asked our building manager about that, and he explained these little connector pieces here, it's all like hurricane wind management. So I guess the trusses are designed in such a way that under super heavy winds, the ceiling will move up and down just a tiny little bit. As you may be aware, down here in Florida, we have these hurricanes every year that sort of move around and cause a ruckus. So by separating the roof trusses from the walls, when the roof sort of moves around a little bit during a horrifying storm, it doesn't crack the drywall in your upstairs bedrooms. Over through here, this is the utility room where the 2 air handlers will live. The AC system upstairs is separate from the AC system downstairs, so if Tommy wants to live in a tropical 80 degrees and we want to freeze down there when we go to bed and put a bunch of blankets on, we can both do that. Yeah, everybody stopped making noise, so I got to film a little bit. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
He's also got a little attic space up above here so he can store stuff or make a fort or whatever. Then we've got another bedroom up here overlooking the pond and the rest of the neighborhood. It's got his own bathroom like every other one. So this is Tommy's little lair. Tommy lives upstairs. And that's the house so far. I love how they use the actual walls as their punch list as they're getting things done. So next week, they'll be installing the drywall and finishing up the HVAC, and then we'll be on to all just the little finishing touches. The countertops, the floors, the paint, the plugs, the ports, then the landscaping and the driveway. And right now, anyway, we're slated to move in maybe the end of April or the middle of May.